Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on the channel, Mr. Loons, and today we are doing Game Week 15, Barclays Premier League predictions. Now, today I'm starting off on the 5th of November. Nottingham Forest are home against Brentford. I'm going to predict this. It's going to be very interesting how this actually revolves. I'm going to say 1-0 to Forest. I think they're going to stay up this season. I think Steve Cooper's a great manager, and this is pretty much a whole fresh team. Everyone knows it. But they managed to get a win against Liverpool. Besides the loss 5-0 against Arsenal, they also lost 4-0 to Leicester, and they can still win against Liverpool. Yes, it's a bad form of Liverpool, but at Forest level, that's very good. At their home ground, something can definitely happen. But Brentford, they only got a 1-1 draw against Wolverhampton Wanderers, previously losing 4-0. And for that, I think Brentford are going to be in a relegation battle as well. But Forest at their home ground, so overall, tight affair. But Forest, they're due a win soon. Moving on to the next game, Wolverhampton Wanderers are at home against Brighton and Hove Albion. I'm going to rate this 1-1. Now, Brighton, I always think of Brighton as a drawing club. They seem to always draw. And I don't know why they do. They always create so many chances, like against Nottingham Forest. I was watching it on TV on Prime. They just constantly had chances and chances and chances, and Forest just managed to stay in the game. But I don't know how. But Brighton just never, ever get the finishing touch. It's step from last week when they won 4-1 against Chelsea. The funny thing is, Graham Potter went against former club, and he lost. Should have never left Brighton. But against Wolves, who are at home here, only got a draw against Brentford, previously losing 4-0. I could see Brighton's a better team than Wolves, but Wolves, and Brighton, that just looks like a draw to me. Moving on to the next game, Manchester City are at home at the Etihad Stadium, and they're against Fulham FC. 4-1 to Manchester City. I think Fulham, they are a great club. I think they're going to be in a relegation battle, though. Doesn't matter where they are right now. It matters where they are at the end of the season. And to be honest, they won 3-2 against Leeds United. That was an overall decent win. And then they go on and get at least a point against Everton, which was very good. But in my opinion, I think Leeds could have won if the defence didn't mess up. But let's stop talking about Leeds. Let's talk about this game. In my opinion, Manchester City, they're on top of the league pretty much in second. It doesn't matter if Haaland's not fit or not. City are going to absolutely batter Fulham. Trust me, it's going to happen. Moving on to the next game, Leeds United are at home at Ellen Road, Water Stadium, against AFC Bournemouth. 2-2. Now, people are on about Jesse March getting sacked. I liked him, and I don't think he is now. After a 2-1 away win at Anfield against Liverpool, that was absolutely sensational from Leeds. Again, a lucky goal from Rodrigo. Could we see another lucky goal from Rodrigo? But, I mean, to be honest, Leeds, they're going to dominate this game. It's obvious. They're going to dominate at Ellen Road against Bournemouth. But Bournemouth, they're going to capitalise on Leeds' defence, their mistake. Rodrigo's probably going to make like a really bad error like he has done a couple of times, just randomly booting it back into his own penalty box pretty much. But they're all over the place at the back, Leeds. They need to sort that. But they're going to dominate, which means they're going to make chances, so it's going to really, in the end, come to a draw. I don't think they're quite there. I think they could if Bamford could actually finish his beans. But I can't wait to see Nonto in the team properly at Leeds. Moving on to the next game, Everton is at Goodison Park against Leicester City. What a game this could plan out to be. I'm saying 2-1 Leicester. Now, Everton, they drew 0-0 against Fulham away. They also had a great win against Crystal Palace 3-0. Don't know how they did that. And yes, they do have a great defence in Tawaski and Connor Cody, and a great goalkeeper in Jordan Pickford. Sure, those are three really good players, but Leicester City, they've got James Maddison, Tielemans, Barnes. They've got a good side, but obviously you know how bad they've been performing recently. But wait, they've been on good form as well. They only just about lost against City, previously getting a few wins here and there. It's not bad from Leicester. They're slowly getting wins and wins and wins. I think they can continue this form. And it's a winnable game for Leicester. It's also a winnable game for Everton. But Leicester need it more, and they're going to win it with ease, in my opinion. Well, not quite ease, but This is just going to win it, okay? Moving on to the next game, 6th of November, a whole new day. Chelsea at home against Arsenal. I'm going to predict this 2-2. To be honest, when I was thinking of this prediction, I really didn't know who to pick. Such a hard game to predict. Yes, Chelsea, Graham Potter, they lost 4-1 against Brighton. But Chelsea also did have an undefeated streak before that game. And against Arsenal, who drew against Southampton, then won 5-0 against Nottingham Forest. I don't think they've properly been tested quite yet. They haven't properly been tested. Going against the Chelsea side of Graham Potter, he's a great manager. Don't know how he lost it against Brighton. But they've got Aubameyang and Sterling as the attacking threat. That's going to get him the goals. Thiago Silva got, he stopped 2 goals on the line, heading it away against Brighton. Yes, they conceded 4 goals. But he's also a sensational centre-back and he's like 36. Got experience at the back. But in Arsenal, they've got a great side. They're first. But overall, I think either Chelsea can win or Arsenal to win. So overall, it comes into a draw. If I think both of them are going to win, it comes to a draw. I can't really say anything more. Moving on to the next game, Aston Villa at home against Manchester United at Villa Park. With obviously new manager Emery. 2-1 to Man United. I am still saying Manchester United to win it. I believe Emery's more defensive than Steven Gerrard was. But Steven Gerrard just did not have his tactics. He didn't have his tactic board on the right scale. I don't think the way Aston Villa played was very good. I think they had the squads. That was good. That squad is amazing. Top 10 quality. I think now they're going to finish 10th. Going against Man United, it's a harsh start for Emery to straight away go against them. But it could be a draw. I think it'll be quite a close affair. I think he'll battle well. I think Aston Villa tactics will definitely change. 100%. The players they got is good. But Manchester United, they're on form. They're doing so well, Man United. I can't see him losing this. Moving on to the next game. Southampton are home against Newcastle United. Obviously, I support Newcastle United. I'm going to say 1-0 to Newcastle United. Biased or not, I'm not too sure. Because Southampton, they could have got a draw or a win against Crystal Palace. Looking at the stats, it was a very close game. Again, they play well. They don't get the result. They played against Arsenal. They played well. They got a point, so they got some result, but they don't get the win. Like earlier on in the season, they played well against United, but they lost to Manchester United. So either way, I think they're going to play really well here, especially at that home ground. But Newcastle, best defensive record. And another thing, the way Eddie Howe plays is he defends while he's on the attack, which is absolutely sensational from Eddie Howe. Love Eddie Howe so much. The way he plays, Newcastle, best defensive record. On form, winning 4-0 against Aston Villa. Aston Villa are better than Southampton. So for that, Newcastle are going to win 1-0. But in history, usually it is a draw. So it definitely could be a close game. Moving on to the next game. West Ham United are at home against Crystal Palace. And I'm predicting this 2-1 to West Ham. If Everton can win at their home ground 3-0 against Crystal Palace, West Ham can win against Crystal Palace as well. West Ham, they're not quite, top 6 quality in my opinion. I think they're going to finish 8th. But in previous seasons, they have played very well. And it's Crystal Palace side that only just about won against Southampton. Got thrashed by Everton. I think that's safe to say that West Ham have got this in the bag. Crystal Palace might be able to get a draw. Because obviously Wilfried Zaha, Elise, Eze as their attacking threat could definitely get a few goals. But overall, West Ham looked better. Moving on to the next game. It's a big game. Another big game. Spurs at home against Liverpool. 2-1 to Liverpool. Okay. Liverpool, they lost against Forest, then lost against Leeds. But what I don't understand, they also won against Manchester City. Twice, in fact. Once in the Community Shield, once in the Premier League. Battering Rangers 7-1. Winning another 3-0 Europa League, Champions League game, sorry. I mean, that's crazy. They're very inconsistent. They've lost twice against lower tier teams that are in what you could say a relegation battle, Forest and Leeds. But they're going against Spurs. They drew a win. They are definitely drew a win. And Spurs only just about won against Bournemouth. And they lost to Newcastle United. So I think for that, Liverpool drew a win. They can win against City. So why can't Liverpool win against Spurs? That will be the end of my predictions. But before we do go, last week, I actually get 0 exact results right. But hang on. I did get the correct score right. So I got whether they'll win or draw or not right. I got 7 of those right. So, I mean, it was meh. It was a mediocre week, but overall I'm on 74 points out of 252 points. But that will be the end of my video. Hopefully you can like and subscribe. And always remember to turn on notifications so when it's one of my fantastic YouTube videos. I'll see you next time. Toodaloo now.